type of way.
Oh
And the reason why
shoot!
I'm saying the problem
We
why she
got
probably feels,
Popalot in here, y'all.
huh? What happened?
We got Popalot in here. Okay, go.
Oh,
It's
Papa,
mob ties.
yes.
Hey, mod him up,
Yo,
y'all.
what up, my
And
nigga Mob? What
Universal
up?
as
What up,
I'm
well.
about
gang?
as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati Rick in Detroit, convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude, strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game, Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes, Craig Pettis in the M-Town, Sal Magluta with the boat game, Falcone with the cocaine, like Freeway Ricky with the plug game, like Monster Cody in South Central, Larry Davis from close range.
Let's talk about the jail thing for a minute. What you got caught up in. Tell us your story.
Well, my crew, the dope has slowed down in my little neighborhood, right? A few niggas started robbing. My crew, the Romper niggas, got implemented in some bank robberies. You know what I'm saying? Me, had already advanced in the point of my career where I was getting checks and I didn't really have to do too much dirt, sell no dope or shit, but my niggas still had to eat, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't making enough to support everybody, so niggas was doing certain different things. And I got caught up in the little rapture, the little bank robbery era that was going on, and they tried to say I was the ringleader, the shot caller, teaching niggas how to do it and shit, but that was just all felonious. I just got caught up in the little era of what was going on, and I did my time. They tried to get me to tell and whoop-de-whoop, yeah, your career ruined, you're gonna do life whoop-de-whoop, but you know how real niggas is, that shit didn't mean nothing. I did my little 5 years in the feds, and I think the feds was the most influential part of my life, that little era, because I was around the mob bosses, the Italianos, the Cuban. Everybody in the feds was in there for trying to get some money, right? So I'm in there with the Italians, like I said, the Cubans, the New York cats, you know what I'm saying, the Chicago, you know what I'm saying, the bank robbers, and the terrorists. So all these people that think really hard or try to think, you know what I'm saying, they make ways to make money. So I walked around talking to all different kind of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And I just learned so much and learned how to judge people from afar, you know what I'm saying, and just by a few words, you know what I'm saying, I can talk to a person two sentences. Oh, he's one of them. Boy, look what we got here. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot of different shit from being in the federales, man. It's a cold college.
What do you feel about the police? When someone says police, what pops into your head?
Man, that's another gang. I mean, there's certain people that's on the police force that really are, I think, is standard, upright individuals. But I think the training that they go through and what they go through to be a police and what you got to take the requirements, but behind the scene requirements, like if we a cutthroat crew, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be no punk with the requirements they got make them to be not cool, you know what I'm saying? They bred to act the way they is, so it's like that's another gang, you feel me? It's the police. Just like they go June and them. They go to police. It's another gang that you gotta look out for, you feel me? And they got like a badge to hide behind it, so they the coldest gang, you feel me? The police is worse than June and them. You know what I mean?
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb. We on our way to the great state of California. The Bay Area. Vallejo to be exact. Now, I'm going to need y'all to get in the comment box and run it up because we talking about legends. Now, before we get into the person that I'm going to be covering today, for whom I got an abnormal amount of requests to cover, I want to really talk about the hyphy movement. So according to Wikipedia, the term hyphy is a Oakland slang meaning hyperactive, and they say it's associated with a culture within the area. And the term was first coined by Oakland rapper Keek the Sneak. Now, for some reason, when I think of the word hyphy, the first person that comes to mind is going to be the person that we're covering today. And that's going to be a guy by the name of Andre Lewis Hicks. Okay, for those of you that just flew in from Saturn, Andre Lewis Hicks is going to be none other than the infamous Mac Dre, probably the biggest Bay legend. Going to be up there with E40, but it's going to be debatable. Now, he was an influential figure in the emergence of hyphy music in the Bay Area, and that was going to be right around the early 2000s. He is also the founder of Thiz Entertainment, which is important because he recorded dozens of albums for Thiz Entertainment, but he also gave an outlet to a lot of aspiring rappers to release albums locally under that branch. Now, I talked about the term hyphy being coined by Keek the Sneak, but to a lot of people, they're going to say that Mac Dre was one of the pioneers that kind of put the genre to the forefront, in a sense, and made it mainstream. Now, you can't really tell a story of Mac Dre without talking about Country Club Crest, or the neighborhood known as the Crest, where he pretty much made his name. He started out making cassette tapes, and somewhere in between recording music and hanging out in the neighborhood, he would become associated with a group known as the Romper Room Gang. And that's where his life would begin to change. He would go on to record his first 3 EPs as Mac Dre between the years of 1988 and 1992. Now, around that same time, the city of Vallejo had begun experiencing a surge of retail and bank robberies right around the same time, and that led the Vallejo Police Department to begin focusing on the Crest neighborhood. Now, going through and seeing that frustration every day, Mac Dre would use his music as an outlet to let the world know what was going on inside of his neighborhood. And in a sense, some people would kind of say that would come back to haunt him, because on March 24th in 1992, while he was only 21 years old, he was invited by several friends of his to go to a trip to Fresno, where he had performed a show a few weeks prior. Now, it's some speculation that he just went on the trip to visit a chick that he had met at the show, but while driving back to Vallejo from Fresno, the car he had been riding in with friends had been stopped by the FBI, Fresno, and Vallejo Police Department. Now, during the course of being detained, the police would go on to tell Mac Dre that while he was at the motel, his friends had been casing a bank, but allegedly changed their minds when they saw a local Fresno TV news van in the bank parking lot. Now, still only 21 at the time, Mac Dre was facing a conspiracy to commit bank robbery charge. Now, some would say that Mac Dre was just caught in the middle because he had released controversial music like Punk Police, which taunted the police and criticized them about their frequent harassment. But police had believed that the Romper Room Gang was connected to 47 robberies and had somehow come up with an informant that would end up in a conviction for Mac Dre and 2 other members of the robbery crew. Now, a guy by the name of Corey DeAndre Dunn had been kind of tied in with the Romper Room Gang, and he had given them a car that was supplied to him by police. Now, allegedly, that car was wired, and it recorded conversations between members allegedly planning a bank robbery. Now, after his arrest, Mac Dre would contact the LA radio station KMEL to broadcast a live interview, which he would name Dunn as an FBI informant. Now, with the confidential informant and whatever evidence they had, the government was able to convict Mac Dre, and he was sentenced to 5 years. He would only serve 4, and when he was released, his name would begin to take off. And unfortunately, just as the hyphy movement would begin to grow nationally, on October 31st, 2004, a group of unidentified gunmen would open fire on a van that Mac Dre was traveling in on U.S. Route 71 in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, the van would crash and the driver would call 911, but Mac Dre was pronounced dead at the scene from a bullet wound in the neck. Now, after his death, he would even grow huger in the hyphy movement and just the Bay in general, and even nationally, to be honest, because that's when I heard about him. It's crazy. I hadn't heard about him the whole time he was alive, but yet and still he died and his music was able to reach me. Now, some close to the story know about the association with Anthony Fat Tone Watkins, a person that we also covered on the channel. And a lot of people would say that Mac Dre's death led to a series of 4 other homicides, including Fat Tone, his homeboy Cowboy, and another female that was associated with the case. So it was just a really, really crazy story. But y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_A_LOT. Y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe right under this video so y'all know when this real Trill Spill shit is dropping. And y'all get in the comment box below. Let me know what cities we need to go to, where we haven't been, what gangsters we need to cover, what we got wrong. And I'm going to be back with some more real Trill Spill shit. Y'all already know what it is with me. It's your boy Pop. Mobb.